Yeah.
Yeah, here. And then, outside of that, like, I'm still doing other things to, like, make sure that I'm being the best I can. But then when I get home, there's other stuff I'm still trying to make sure I'm doing. Like, I want to make sure I'm staying on top of my social media and leading by example. I still got to, I'm still training.
Yeah.
I'm still doing all of these things to make sure that I'm like, especially like that core value of leading by example.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not doing that, who's going to listen to me? Like, why would someone want to do what I tell, or what I advise them to do if I'm not doing it myself? Does that make sense?
Of course.
So yeah, it's. I think that's probably why I'm an introvert by trade, and I'm excited though because, like, tonight I've gotten a lot done today, so tonight I can kind of chill.
Yeah, you're just gonna shut down engines and.
Yeah.
What do you got planned? Is it like a movie?
Probably movie.
Yeah. What movie?
Don't know yet.
What's your go-to?
Don't know yet.
Okay. What's a classic go-to?
Well, my favorite movie is Miracle. Favorite movie
I love
of all
that
time.
movie.
It's the best movie.
Uh-huh.
You literally cannot beat Miracle. Now, I get it. It is the most stereotypical framework for a movie, but I don't care.
So?
It's too good. You cannot watch Miracle and not feel like you're going to run through a brick wall afterwards. Yeah. It's too good. That's what I'm saying.
One game. Ooh, I just got goosebumps.
But then, if you actually learn the history of Miracle, so I did a whole report of this in college. Like, I wrote like a 20-page term paper on Herb Brooks, like, Coach Herb Brooks. And after the game, everyone watches the movie and they're like, "Oh yeah, they beat the Soviets," but they don't realize if they didn't beat Finland in the next game, the Soviets still would have won the gold medal.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because the Soviets were undefeated. And
I thought Finland would have won that. Okay.
No, well, it would have been either Finland or
the
Soviets, and I think Finland had either a tie or a loss. I forget, but one of the I'm pretty sure if Finland had won that game, it would have either been like dual gold. I haven't read about this in like 7 years, but I'm pretty sure the Soviets would have won, and we wouldn't obviously wouldn't have gotten gold, which kind of doesn't defeat the point of Miracle, but that's like the end part of it. So what Coach Brooks did was after the Miracle game, because everyone walked around like, "Oh yeah, we just beat the Soviets," he just shredded everybody's legs in practice the next day.
Oh.
Had him, you know the scene where they're like...
Yeah, they're doing down and backs. Yeah.
He did that for the entirety of the practice. And which, from the strength and conditioning coach in me, is screaming thinking about this.
But it's the mental toughness / focus that they needed to reset. Like, hey, you haven't won anything yet. And
then they went into that game and they won. Coming
from behind again. They said they even say it in the movie, coming from behind again. But, every game in that Olympic run.
Yeah, dude, and that's one coach that I think we can all take a lot away from is Herb Brooks, because he went to the NFL, or not NFL, the NHL after that, right? He didn't make that transition.
Derek is tired.
Yeah, he didn't make that transition, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
really did.
When was an NHL coach, but never won a Stanley Cup or anything. But it's the man truly changed how he had to coach for that team to make sure that they would go and beat and that is an adaptable leader right there. Somebody who is I recognize the situation at hand and the people that I have, and I'm going to use some sensory acuity here to try to manage this team to make them winners. And then when he went to the NHL, you can't coach pro athletes like that. He took college
kids that weren't getting paid, that didn't have a resume already.
We're trying to go to the NHL.
Trying to go to the NHL, and he had to mold it a true team. Yeah. You couldn't be an individual on an Olympic team because it just won't work.
He had to literally make them forget about the NHL. Forget about any dreams that they had and say, hey, this is the dream. This is why we're doing this, and this was so important for them. And eventually they woke up to that and were we are trying to win this game, not only for the U.S., but for each other.
Yeah.
And that's the incredible aspect to me is he was able to take this ragtag group of kids who honestly a lot of them hated each other.
Yeah, because they're at rival schools, Minnesota, Boston College, everywhere like that.
Yeah.
And they just didn't like each other.
Nope.
It was different back then.
It was different back then.
Yeah. Well, that
arguably better in some ways.
But we're living in the best times ever possible.
Yeah.
Let's not sugarcoat it. We really are.
In terms of how easy life is, yeah.
Yeah, life, maybe not mental.
No.
Our mental health is struggling a little bit.
But when you think, to your point, there's no Cold War going on.
No.
I don't live in constant fear of nuclear annihilation. Now, I do think we all should live in some constant fear of, or not necessarily fear as in like but more of
duck and cover drills,
being alert to what's going on in the world, and saying, hey, there's some sketchy stuff.
Mainly by our government, because it's fucking annoying right now. Sorry.
Let's crack these open.
Ah!
I'm sorry.
I know. It's about time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Dude, you got the Tropic today, too.
6 hooked me up.
Yeah.
The man. All right, really quick.
Gave him his choice.
To the people of the pod, we got to give a shout out to John Six.
Yes, this is great. Our producer, John Six.
Oh, yeah.
Come on up.
Get on camera here.
First appearance.
Get on up there.
So our man right here is going to CL,
Yes,
our
sir.
customer loyalty here at HQ, and it's much deserved. Six, how long have you been with the company now? Here, make sure you're in the frame. Get in there.
Get set.
I'll get up. I'll get up. I'll block.
Grab a stool.
A little something like this.
All right, so
Yeah.
I actually just hit my 6 years. It was
Wow.
like a couple days ago, actually.
Damn,
I think.
that's
So,
crazy.
yeah, I've been in the warehouse the whole time. Started actually, I was telling Derek, I started when I was 20, just before I turned 21, almost 27 now. And finally getting out the warehouse and getting up into customer service. I'm freaking excited, guys.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
Yeah, and you, man.
Very few people deserve it.
Yeah, more. Like, you've done so
I
many
wouldn't say
jobs
that.
around just while I've been here. So I haven't even been here 3 years. And the thing that I admire most, and I've never told you this, but it's the fucking truth, is that no matter what is asked of you, you go and do it.
Mm-hmm.
You took
Yes,
over
sir.
dev group. You went back to the line. You do this. You do that. You lead singles. Now you're going to CL. Bro, like, whatever's asked of you, you go and do it. And you do it to your best of your ability. And that doesn't take talent, doesn't take too much skill. You have the skill, which is benefit, but that's because you worked your butt off,
Yeah.
right? That comes down to you want to serve our customers.
Yeah.
You want the company to win. And, like, you epitomize, like, everything that this company is about.
Hey,
Working hard, leading by example, everything. And you're, like Derek said, there's not a more deserving person in this company to make that leap.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I just thought of 2 core values that really just stuck with me the most, that has helped me be able to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest one is going to be take initiative. It's literally just take initiative to go do those jobs that you really don't want to do. Like, there's a bunch of jobs that I did not want to do back in the warehouse, but I took it on, and because that's what we needed at the time to move forward. It wasn't fun, but I got it done. And then be selfless, literally just thinking of the customers, thinking of you guys in the warehouse. It's like, hey, I got to get through this. I got to do this to be able to bring my team members up, to help that customer continue their journey. Like in the warehouse, we talk about it all the time. Like, hey, if they don't get their package, like, they may not continue that journey, or it's going to be harder for them to continue that journey.
And it's that window, right?
Yeah.
It's that window that's so important of, like, oh my God, I'm out of product. Do I have to go to the gym today? And you working your butt off. You've worked so many hours. So many hours and put in so many reps that people don't even see. Like, come in on a Sunday. I remember coming in on Sundays and you're back there packing a singles round. And it's just like, damn.
But the thing is, he won't tell anybody.
No, that's the thing.
He just does it.
Yeah.
And it just happens because he cares.
Yes.
You know, and that's the thing. That's the difference, and that's why you are going to excel so much in that position, because you care so much about the people that are coming in saying like, "Hey, I need help."
And selfishly, that's why when you're like, "Hey, I'll produce your podcast," I'm like, because I know how much effort you're gonna put in, and like that, you amplify us, right? Like, we do the easy stuff. You do all the technical stuff.
No,
Like,
yeah,
we just
no,
speak into
I'm
a
not. I'm
microphone.
just a sound nerd. I just
Not just. You are the sound nerd.
He's the sound guy.
He
Sound
is.
dude.
Yeah.
We're all nerds here, so
So-
he's the sound nerd, but also the super smart guy nerd too.
Dude, I love that
So-
how you highlighted taking initiative and being selfless, because that is you.
Oh yeah,
It's you.
those are the 2 biggest core values that have helped me see success within my life. So
Love it.
I
Love it.
appreciate you guys.
Congratulations, brother, and I can't wait to see where you take it.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, no, this is just the start, guys.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Day one, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Day one.
Rocket ship.
All right. Yeah, thank you
All right.
guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll let you guys get back to it.
Let's get to it.
All
Derek,
right.
brother, you're a little tired.
Oh, I'm good. I'm
But
not
how you
tired.
doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. Yeah, I've been last night I went to bed super early, so I don't like saying like I'm tired. I hate doing that, because it's like I'm not really that like actually tired. You know what I mean? It's just like sometimes I get maybe a little bit,
okay.
you know, and it's not like bad, and I don't want it to seem like it's. I hate it because I almost feel like it's not like, not to say like, oh, I'm portraying like a weakness, but it's like I still have so much more I can give, and it's not like I'm actually tired. It's just like I feel like how a normal person feels. You know what I mean? I feel like we have a negative connotation to it, and I don't like complaining about it because I don't want it to seem like that's what it is.
It's funny because people are like, I'm tired, and then they go watch Netflix.
Yeah.
And like, we'll just like kick back. You're tired, and you're going to go home and read. Yeah. Or you're going to go home and set yourself up for a win tomorrow.
Yeah. It's actually been my Lenten intention this year, because Lent just started on Wednesday, is I'm reading the book of Job. I'm reading, and then once I'm finished with that, I'm going to switch on to the Gospels. But then I'm also reading one proverb and one psalm a day, or one chapter of Proverbs and one psalm a day.
I love that.
So it's been good, man.
Why did you choose that?
So I chose the book of Job because I've never truly read it cover to cover, or not cover to cover, but front to end.
Yeah.
So
book of book.
Yeah, and I quote it so much. I like look back at a lot of the parts of it because Job is somebody whose faith is challenged, and now that I'm actually reading it, and seeing it, the whole story. You can draw a lot of parallels. Like, obviously, my family hasn't, like, thank God, my family hasn't, like, all been crushed by a building that falls onto them. Like, my...
Big guy, let's please avoid that as long as possible.
I'm not covered in boils or anything like that. I've had challenges. But, even in the book of Job, I think this is a big misconception because everyone thinks that God is doing these bad things to Job. And that's not the case. When you read the book, it's Satan that is doing the bad things to Job. God is just saying, I know that Job is not going to lose his faith in me. Like Job will continue to praise me. So, and that's really what it is. Like I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but when you're looking at, in real life, people always say, why is God making these bad things happen to me? And that's not what is happening. What is actually happening is, God, for one thing, God gave everyone free will. So, and that's one of the beautiful things.
I try to hit on that as much as possible.
So when bad things happen in the world that is typically caused from other people, or choices that we've made, that's like the consequences of other people's actions. And it sucks that sometimes we have to, reap the negative side effects of that, but it's the truth. And sometimes, yes, there is just normal bad things that happen, but that is not God doing those things. Like it's kind of like, so good and evil, I'm sorry, I'm going way off on a tangent here, but when we're looking at like good versus evil, it's not like evil is its own thing. Evil is the absence of a thing. So it's like dark versus light. Like you can be in a really dark room, but darkness is not a thing. Darkness is just the absence of light. There's no light in that room. So when you all of a sudden open the door and light floods in, now you see the light. It's like, it's the same thing. If you're in a very evil situation, it's because you're in the absence of God. Like God is still watching over you, but you need to allow him in. And allow him to protect you and do these things. And when you do that, it's the same effect of when you open that door. All of this light, all of this goodness flows in and fills it up from this, like, what is essentially a vacuum. And now you have, salvation. So that's my tangent anyway. So that's why I picked reading those books. And then, the gospel is just, in my opinion, such a positive, like, powerful thing. Because, when you look at someone like Jesus, everyone thinks that, did you see that He Gets Us commercial?
I saw a couple of them. I don't know if I saw the one that you're talking about.
There's one that was run during the Super Bowl.
Because I thought there was more than one.
I know there was one specific. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I saw this.
All right, yeah, I wouldn't be able to bring it up in my mind.
So in the commercial, like, it's all these people, like, washing these people's feet. And it's, like, all these people who look super prideful doing things that are, like, sinful in nature. And, like, these people are washing their feet, and then it goes, like, oh, Jesus didn't judge. He washed their feet, And I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is not a biblical representation of Jesus. Like, Jesus washed people's feet because it was a humbling act. It wasn't a condoning of sin. It was Jesus. I mean, Jesus already humbled himself so much. He's literally God and became man. And that is such a humbling aspect to, I mean, could you imagine that? Like, taking that step down? That's like if you were like, hey, and this is not even the same level. Like, this would be even smaller than that. But if you just, like, one day became, like, a fly. Like, I know it's a weird analogy, but, like, something that really doesn't have much impact or does not have the same amount of significance as, like, being a human. Like, that's, like, the step, even greater, that God had to make. So when you look at someone like Jesus was not like, yes, he was taking that step of being humble, and that's why he was washing people's feet, especially because it's like, hey, you guys are going to need to, like the apostles needed to be humble to say, hey, we're coming into your community and we're trying to spread the word of God, but they didn't condone sin. Like the gospel clearly says, like, Jesus is like speaking to a prostitute at one point and says, like, you know, go forth and sin no more, saying like, hey, don't do this action anymore. You're forgiven, but now you need to go out and serve me. And that's what it is. It's not like, hey, he loves you and he just loves your sin. That's not how it is. God, I mean, he does not love that. He does not get that. He gets chasing him and pursuing him. And when you do those things, he gets like, hey, I gave you free will, but he's calling you back to him. And what honestly I think a better representation of that commercial could have been is people doing things that are bad, doing sin, but they turn back. Because, it's like the parable of the lost sheep. Like, Jesus is the shepherd who will leave the flock to go and find the one. And no matter how far you stray, you're not too far. Because as soon as you turn around just to face the flock, Jesus is right there to bring you back and guide you back there. Literally,
Yeah.
So that's why I picked those. I'm sorry I went on a huge tangent there, but I'm really passionate about it.
That's fine.
So,
Passion's good.
Yeah.
Are you sharing that anywhere? Like on your stories? Are you doing like another YouTube thing? What do you think?
I haven't really been sharing it too much.
But that's fine because it's a personal thing.
For me, I am sharing stuff. Not tons of stuff about it, but really I'm using this podcast to share it a little bit. I'm trying to share a little bit of it on social media. But for me, my social media is my platform to speak the word of Christ. Mm-hmm. So I know I do a lot of other stuff in addition to that, but at the end of the day, that's one of the things that if God granted me this platform, I'm spreading this out there, and things like when I went to Ash Wednesday, I was like, okay, I want to make sure I'm showcasing, like, hey, remember it's Ash Wednesday to people, and I'm really glad I did. So, because a lot of people were like, oh shoot, I forgot I need to go to Mass today because I forgot it was Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we can talk more on that later. I'm curious, how's your day been? How have you been?
Dude, my day's been good. We've been rocking and rolling. Work at 5:30 this morning. Been blessed to do that. It was a great week.
Yeah.
Packing boxes, changing lives, and warehouse was bumping. Yeah.
Dude, I had
to
go in last Sunday to help out with some of the energies. I was like, dude, it was cranking.
Yeah. I mean, it's been kind of nonstop. Had a little bit of stomach issues this morning, but we kind of worked through it. My pen exploded in my pants pocket, so I got a nice little blue spot here. So,
oh, nice,
bro. We're riding the roller coaster.
What was the stomach issues?
So I had a lot of bloat.
Okay.
A lot of bloat.
Take your Opti-Greens?
Damn right I did.
Okay, my man. What do you think caused the bloat?
Dude, honestly, I think it was because I'm starting to eat more beef. So I went from eating a lot of chicken, pretty much for lunch and dinner, and then kind of started working in venison. But now that, we're 2 weeks and 2 days left in the challenge, not even, and I was just like, oh, I'm going to start eating really lean beef. So not even 85%. No, I'm eating 93, 95% lean beef, right? So it's a little bit harder to digest. And my body, I don't have the digestive enzymes in my stomach right now. My microbiome's kind of been thrown off.
Yeah, because you're just not used to eating that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what caused the bloat, right? Because my body's just like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah, because you're just, to break it down for the people, when you're not used to eating a certain food, sometimes it doesn't always agree with you at first.
And that's because we're made up of little bugs. Our stomachs are.
Yeah,
right?
you're just
our
not
gut
used
microbiome.
Yeah.
And my stomach just isn't used to it, and that's what caused the bloat. And then, I took my Opti-Greens 50.
My man.
I took it with carnitine because I think the grape with carnitine is freaking phenomenal.
Dude, that is good stuff. It's grape cool.
It's my favorite, but my alternative though, and this is what I use at home a lot, is one of two options, right? Orange juice, love it, and or cranberry juice.
Ooh,
dude,
yeah.
Cranberry juice is...
I bet that's really good.
It's so good. Yeah, so I just throw my Opti-Greens 50. When I travel, that's what I do.
That's smart.
Yep, I'll go to whatever restaurant, pick your choice, and orange juice, cranberry juice, stick, go.
Nice.
Let's go.
Nice.
So, but yeah, so that helped out a ton.
Yeah, man.
Lifesaver. I took that at about 7 o'clock today.
Dude, one thing, the amount of people that I see start taking Opti-Greens and they're all of a sudden they think, oh my gosh, I'm so much less bloated. It is ridiculous.
Yep.
So, but it works wonders. So I'm glad you're feeling better though. That's good.
Yeah.
I bet you're liking that red meat kick though.
I love red meat.
It's so good.
I really do. I don't know how vegans do it, honestly, or
They
vegetarians.
just live a sad life.
I mean, I didn't say it.
I'll say it.
No.
You said
I'll
what
say
we're
it.
all thinking.
I'm just saying, dude, I got some people that are doing the carnivore diet
Yep.
right now. Like they came to me and they were like, "Hey, like I'm doing carnivore," and we've had some talks about it, and a couple people that maybe decided now, like, okay, I'll do mostly meat, but add some other things in, which I think is smart. But oh god, if you're just only eating meat, like, could you imagine just eating red meat all the time?
No,
Awesome.
absolutely not.
I honestly,
it would be delicious.
I agree, but I just couldn't do it. It's so satiating because protein's like so satiating. Like I don't know if I could do it every meal.
I could, especially because I've looked
Do they
at a lot
compress
of
their window? Sorry, like their
What do you
eating window. So like they're eating like more at a time, so then they don't have to. How are they doing it?
So I had two people that are doing it, right?
Okay.
One of them is a chef, and for him, it's just like he's working all the time. So for him, it's just an easy way to follow a diet. And he's been doing it for years, and he's hitting his protein goal, he's hitting his calorie goal, and he gets his blood work done. I'm like, all right, hey man, as long as things are looking
On track.
good,
Let's
yeah.
go.
But another guy was doing it, and he actually just joined my team pretty recently. Super cool kid. He was trying to lean out a little bit, and he was doing carnivore during the week, and then having some extra carbs in the weekend, which makes sense, because a lot of people, if you have the willpower to do that and say like, all right, weekdays and then not go over on the weekends, you can lose weight doing that for sure, because you're limiting, you're having far fewer calories during the week just because you're literally focusing on eating protein.
Yep.
But the thing that tends to happen, and this is what would happen to me because I've done like very restrictive stuff, is once I introduce things back in, oh dude, floodgates open. I am bashing food. It's bad and it's everything. I'm like a vacuum.
Yeah.
You seen SpongeBob when they're out in
water?
the woods?
Oh,
well, not the water, like when they're in the woods and the plane crashes.
Did not.
You haven't seen that one? Okay, we'll see. But
didn't
like
have
that,
that.
Patrick sucks all his food.
Bro,
and
I didn't have that. I did not have that channel growing up. I had 5 channels and one was fuzzy.
Oh yeah. Well, so this
SpongeBob was
this guy on my team, he started introducing more carbs during the week and has told me he's already feeling better. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That makes my day. It is so cool. Like I know I'm still pretty new on the team, but it is so cool seeing how fast people can make giant changes. Like I had one guy his name's Eddie. Dude, Eddie is an animal. Eddie's lost 10 pounds in 17 days. And I'm like, and he's eating, decent amount of food, right? He's getting stronger.
And that's what we want.
Yeah. I have another guy, Roque, he's doing really good. Literally, the scale isn't a giant change, but you look at his progress photos. I'm going to show you after the podcast.
I can't wait.
He looks like, his normal shot, and then all of a sudden it looks like, and from my perspective, that he's dropped like 5 to 8 pounds. But it's like a 2-pound drop. So we move some of his stuff around with his macros, add some activity. He's taking the 1 DB fast pack now. Dude, this guy, I think he's gonna be dangerous.
Well, he's
like legitimately
shedding fat, gaining muscle, like the best recipe, or the thing that everybody chases all at once.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with somebody earlier. Like I got my haircut today.
It looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I noticed you did recently too.
Well, I had to go bald.
So, and I was having this conversation with the lady who cuts my hair. Her name's Rebecca. She's a sweetheart, but she was asking me like, can people gain muscle mass and burn body fat at the same time? Yes and no, right? Like it's very tricky. But like the people who they haven't been weight training and they have a decent amount of body fat to lose, dude, when you get them eating tons of protein, you get them in the gym, all of a sudden it's like a lot of times it looks like fat just falls off them.
Yeah.
And they just start getting, gaining so much muscle so quickly. It's like, it's so cool to see. And those are the people that really respond well to stuff like that. So I think that's always really cool. It is harder when you're like experienced in the gym and like you don't have a lot of body fat to lose, then it gets pretty complex. You might not be able to do it. Like I couldn't do that. But
I mean that's part of it. It doesn't get easier.
No.
Like you just have a new problem to solve, right? So once you get to that point to where like, oh my god, I can no longer lose and gain at the same time, it's just like, okay, take a breath, step back and be like, now what do I have to do? Do I have to gain a little bit of fat, while putting on muscle, and then be able to cut down again, cut my calories again, and then keep that muscle mass that I did gain as well. So you're keeping your muscle mass higher, right? Your total muscle percentage, or how do we say it on the in-body? Sorry.
Like your body composition.
Brain dump. Yeah, your body composition.
Body, yeah.
Your lean body mass is higher.
Yes.
That's the one. Your lean body mass is higher because you strategically took your calories up. Yes, you gained a little bit of fat, but you also gained muscle. And as you come down, your muscle mass is going to be higher. So then your body fat percentage is lower.
Yeah.
Right? But that's a problem to solve as you get deeper and deeper into fitness. And quite honestly, I love that. Like, and I know you nerd out on it. I know Six nerds out on it. And I think that's where the power of having an advisor, coaches, people around, mentors, people around you to kind of be like, no, you can do this, and to guide you.
Seeing how the body responds to different things is so cool. Like, you have people, like, especially, this is something I see with a lot of ladies, is a lot of times, and this was a big issue with my mom. My mom is the first person I ever coached.
Okay, how many pounds did she drop?
45 pounds, right?
Yep.
Kathleen dropped some weight.
Yeah, she did.
And she's strong.
I never would have known.
Dude, right? She looks great. Like, she crushed it. So, my mom, I got her to lose 45 pounds because she was not eating enough food. She was not eating enough protein. What usually happens is once you get people eating their like more calories and more protein, their body, especially ladies, like if they have been under eating for a long time, all of a sudden their body starts to function a little bit higher, like a little bit more effectively. And I can really dive. I'm gonna science out here is when you overly restrict, and this is what happened to me when I was like in ranger school. Your body will start to want to like store more fat because it starts
survival mode.
Essentially, yeah, because it's trying to shut down non-essential processes in your body. So, you know, a lot of times your hormones function's not as good. A lot of times you just feel less energetic. Your body will literally start to slow yourself down. But as soon as you start feeding it a little bit more, your body will be like, oh, I can start turning things back on again. And we'll start to be able to release that body fat. So the simplified version of that is as you eat more food and eat more protein, a lot of times your body will start to kind of kick back into overdrive and say, all right, let's burn some body fat. Let's get going. So that's the long story. The too long didn't read.
Well, and you know, people talk about like metabolism. Like they just throw that word out there. Metabolism. You're crashing your metabolism. Oh, your metabolism is roaring, right? That's kind of what it is, right? Like when your body goes into survival mode, your metabolism is going to be very low and slow. Like think of it as like embers of a fire, right? You let it burn out and now you just see the glowing embers, right? But once you start adding that protein back in, adding those calories back in, you're giving it fuel, then all of a sudden your metabolism starts revving up per se and getting bigger and bigger and burning hotter, which it doesn't burn hot, burns hotter, which I'm using the fire example, which then you can see it and now you're eating more food and you're still losing weight because you're allowing your body to do that because it turned those systems back on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is super cool to see.
Yeah.
I remember personal experience with that from myself was 2022, I think is when it was. Yeah, it was 2022. Dude, we were doing this huge training block like in the start of the year. No, this is going to NTC, like the National Training Center in Fort Irwin.
Got it.
And when I was going, like when we were getting ready to do that, I just let myself go. Like I was drinking too frequently. I was eating, no, don't get me wrong, eating plenty of protein, getting my movement in, was drinking plenty of water, but I was so stressed, did not focus on quality nutrients. I was still like getting my vitamins and minerals and stuff because I was taking my foundational supplements. But when that summer came around, I was like, all right, it was the summer challenge. I was like, I'm doing a cut. I'm leaning out. I'm dropping this. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being overweight. And started really getting lean. Like I got, just from my own, manipulation of my macros, got pretty lean. But I dialed it back down to like 2,500 calories.
And for you, that's really low.
Like my resting metabolic rate at the time was probably about 2,500 calories. So it was about that.
That's just being alive.
Yeah. So for me, doing PT in the morning, still lifting weights.
Y'all army people.
Dude, I was getting hungry. So I started reverse dieting back up because I was just kind of hit a plateau.
Watch the magic happen, right?
The magic works, dude. Because I was like gradually adding carbs back in, and the scale just started going. like.
Were you like what the?
Yeah,
for a
it's the
second
first time
there?
I'd ever done that.
Got it.
You know, now I like.
Oh, I just
helped
got
other ladies.
goosebumps for you, dude. Like that's
That was
so cool.
because I
literally did.
That was when I first realized, like, dude, I could be a bodybuilder.
Oh.
That was when it clicked in my head.
Yep.
Of I can get pretty lean because my whole life up to that point I can like kind of lean, but that was when I first got like lean, and thought, dude, I could actually go somewhere with this because I just thought I was like destined to always be like a higher body fat percentage, and then that was when because my whole family's been obese.
I mean, and you went through Ranger School and you went through all the training for the military, and you're still a little bit thicker, and you're just like, it's just gonna be this way.
And it wasn't.
Newsflash,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Might be a little bit harder for some, might be a little bit easier for others.
Yeah.
That goes down to genetics.
So.
But you realize you could. That's cool. That's really cool. And now this year you're doing it.
I'm doing it.
Hell yeah.
And, dude, honestly, I'll say this too, like this is like my big passion to not only do it for me, but to do it for other people. Like I love, dude, seeing the people that make these transformations so quickly and being able to like really simplify it. Because I know I get sciencey on here, but being able to like actually show them how to do it, and it clicks in their head, and they know how to do it, and they just go and they execute it. Yep. Oh, it's so cool. So really, like, quick, I am still trying to grow my team.
I was going to say, shameless plug. Tell us how.
So I'm going to put my link to my team in the description of this bio.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants any help reaching a fitness goal, building muscle mass, burning some body fat, or just feeling a little bit better, dude, I'm the guy. Like, or not, I'm not the guy. We have tons of great people, but I would love to help you out.
Respectfully, he's the guy. I might be a little biased because he's my guy with thigh, but you know.
Anyway.
But also you can go on Instagram. Your link is in your bio, right?
It is in my bio.
Yep. And you can shoot him a DM.
Absolutely.
And we will get everything hooked up. And that's I say shameless plug because it's true, because he will change your life because he's an advisor here at Phorm, and like, hey, like all of our advisors do great work. I'm very biased and I have no problem admitting that. He's my dude, yes. He's my partner in crime, co-host. But I see what he does on a daily basis, and like I wouldn't say that out loud if I didn't think that you would be the best for the job.
I don't even know what to say. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But you want to go into what you had brought in?
What did I bring in? With six?
Q&A?
Oh yeah, might as well. That's a perfect hit.
Yeah,
let's go.
I figured it was a good time to go into it.
All right, let's get
it. Right.
First one comes from a first-time listener. This may be a dumb question, but where did the name Guys with Thighs come from?
That's not a dumb question.
That's not a dumb question at all, considering that that's our namesake.
Yeah. You want to take this one?
Yeah, our friend Aaron. Like, we did a little. What was it? It was the second episode, or was it the first? Where we were like, we need a name.
It was the first episode.
It was the first episode?
It was the first episode. we were brainstorming for so long.
Dude, we couldn't think of it.
No. We were just thinking like, okay, that's funny, but like, is this funny or is this like who we are?
Yeah.
And then we thought of some serious ones. We're like, well, we're not. Yeah, we're serious people, but we're also really fun people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So then, like, we crowdsourced, right? We threw it up on our stories. We put it on YouTube, like in the link, or we set it on the video. And Erin commented on YouTube. She's just like, Guys with Thighs, and we were both like, yeah, buddy.
That's it.
That was the best one by far.
I agree because we had some. Our military friends chimed in.
There were some good ones.
Probably some inappropriate names.
Yeah, they were good. but you couldn't put that as your serious name.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And it just worked out perfectly to her. You know, a couple of guys at the time, we didn't even have six with thighs. So, you know.
And then six joined and it fit perfectly.
It does.
Six got big thighs too. So.
And so, yeah, our friend Erin, she's freaking beast. She was here.
She was.
HQ. Dude. Yeah, you did a nice little workout. Lunges. I saw that.
So we did some squats, we did some leg press, we did some lunges. I had to leave, but then she and Kate did some RDLs. They did good mornings. But yeah, it was good. Yeah. She told me like, oh, my legs were pretty fired up after that. But she's strong, dude.
I know.
She's like 108 pounds and
she's like 4'11" of just straight muscle.
So I've seen her progress photos, right?
Yep.
She's on my team in the app, and she's like a rock star. But you see her in person. She is so strong. She's like jacked.
Yep.
She's a pro. She's about to make her pro debut fighting, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
still. She's one that you don't mess with.
No.
Because you will get your face bashed in.
Yeah.
And it'll be quick, too. It'll be quick.
I weigh more than double her body weight, and I wouldn't want to mess with her.
Yeah, it's pop, you're down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's really cool that we had a friend. She shot me a message after, like, the next episode went up, and she's just like, you picked my name, or the name that I said. I'm like, yes, we did. It was the best one.
Dude, Erin is so cool.
Yeah.
She's referred some really cool people over to the team, too.
Hell yeah.
Her strength coach is on my team. His name's Collis. And, dude, this dude is super smart.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it's awesome that I get to work with him because
You get to pick his brain.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So he's worked with, like, NFL athletes. He's worked, like, he has his own gym.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
So I'm really excited because he's cool. He's a good dude.
Hell yeah. And that's how Guys with Thighs came about.
Yeah. Anyway,
Beautiful.
we got another one, 6.
All
What's
right.
up? What's up?
Second one, keep it simple. Any big life event updates?
Oh.
We
Derek,
announced
go
6.
first. Oh, yeah, we
We
did.
announced 6.
Got one from 6. 6 is on prep. Are you starting prep next week, too?
Yes, actually starting prep on Monday.
Big
Yeah.
bodybuilding, Paul.
Yeah.
Big bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Not me, guys.
One of these days.
One day.
It makes me mad when I see you walking around the gym. Like, how does this dude look like that? He just,
Yeah,
like,
bro.
doesn't do lateral raises.
But
His
you have to
shoulders
do
are
a
just
show
capped.
eventually.
Dude,
One
I
of these
did
days.
so many. We talked about the Arnold blueprint of mass back in the day.
Yeah.
That's just so many reps and sets that are not good for
Oh.
you, but they gave me good shoulders.
Well, you think, I mean, when you're a kid, like when you're like a young dude,
My recovery was on point.
yeah, your testosterone levels through the roof. You're getting so much sleep. It doesn't even matter.
Miss those
You know,
days.
it does matter, but like,
I miss those days. So maybe when I break myself even more and I can't really move left and right, I'll become a bodybuilder. How's that sound?
that sounds good.
Okay, all right.
Sounds good.
All right, sorry. So that's 6. He's on
Yeah.
prep and he's getting a promotion, which is dope. So
Yes,
Derek.
11 weeks out right now. So I keep thinking, like, dude, I'm not as nearly as lean as I should be. I keep looking leaner, but the scale's not really dropping as low as I'd like it to.
Yep.
But everyone keeps telling me, like, dude, Kit is the magic man, and Kit
Trust
is
him.
not worried about it at all. And you know, I'm a big believer of, like, hey, dude, trust your coach.
Yep.
And coach, or you know, Kit has gotten some people diced,
Mhm.
so I'm trusting it, and
Got me diced.
I'm 100% believe that it's gonna happen. So as long as I just execute the game plan.
Mhm.
But that's really about it. Nothing too crazy. Just, you know, been doing work.
Working your butt off. Oh, you got your team.
Got
That's
my
a big-
team.
that is a big life event.
That's been a few weeks now.
Yeah,
But
okay,
It
yeah.
is. You're right. That is a big life event. And
Yeah.
It's been really cool, and seeing like me connecting with all these people is really cool.
Yep.
It is really cool. Yeah. It
Yeah,
is.
I can just see by the smile.
The amount of fulfillment, dude,
Yep.
is just so cool. You know, like I remember in the Army, I worked probably about the same, maybe a little less in the Army, but dude, I was always drained. I was so drained because it wasn't something that I was really passionate about.
Yep.
It was something that for me, I mean, the passionate parts were the things where we were actually out training and I was actually like helping develop soldiers.
Mhm.
So now I get to, instead of developing soldiers and like, you know, junior leaders, now I get to be like, hey, I'm helping you like change your life and have a healthier lifestyle or reach whatever goal. And that is like, dude, just fills me up. So it doesn't matter how much, like, I could be dog tired. I don't care. I just loved it. So,
I love to hear that. Here's the thing. I'm going to disagree with you.
you're gonna
Because,
disagree?
yeah,
On what?
because you develop people more than you even know. 6, me, Chase, everybody around you, you are still developing. Besides your team. Like your team is going to benefit them, like, by not us just being around you. You've developed us more than you know.
Well, it's like you were saying, it's the iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
as one man sharpens the face of his
Yeah.
neighbor.
And I just want you to know that because, like, you're just like, oh, I'm not developing people anymore, but you're doing this other thing.
Mhm.
You're doing it all.
Yeah, and I don't want to say like I'm not developing.
No, yeah, I know.
'Cause I know I am for my team,
I
but-
know.
Dude, that is one thing I really want to work towards. I do have some pretty big goals for the company and for
Mhm.
what I want to work towards in building out, but I'm going to keep that to me for now.
That's fine.
And you know, behind the scenes.
I won't put any pressure on you this
I
time
appreciate
around.
it, but
You told me not to.
What, I've been talking
do
way
it
too
then.
much about me in this episode anyway, so I feel like it's time now we got to talk about your life.
Oh man, my life is crazy.
You got a couple crazy ones.
Got a crazy couple. I mean,
Sully's playing a lot of big stuff right now.
I like to do a lot of fun stuff.
You do.
Right? My life, I've always viewed as chasing the next adventure, chasing the next experience, right? So, with that is next month, March, is starting kind of the Spartan season. So I have a Spartan season pass, which means I can run all those Spartan races like that I want throughout the year, right? As long as I can get there, pay for the hotel, pay for everything, right? So starting out in Houston, the second weekend in March, which will be really cool. And then all of a sudden I found out, I'm like, oh, the next weekend it's Atlanta, right? It's trifecta weekend. Atlanta's within driving distance, right?
From here or Houston?
From here. From here.
Leave
on a Friday after work.
That's
Buzz on
that's like
down.
a 13-hour drive.
No.
Yes, it is.
To the event center, it's only like 8 or 9. I got somebody to go with me. Rio said he might. Like I got somebody to go with me, so we can split. So I'm just like, shit. I can get there. All I gotta do is pay for gas. Really? Like split a hotel room, maybe.
Sleep in the car.
Yeah, buddy. So I'm just like, put Atlanta on the calendar. Why not? April, we're going out to New Jersey, running a trifecta weekend. Gonna be a blast. Anybody want to join? Hell yeah. June, Colorado Springs. Buddy. Me and Rio are running all trifecta weekends. 3 races in a weekend. Oh yeah, it's gonna be so fun. July, Utah, Tony, yeah, let's go. August, Hawaii. I already told you all about that one. Who wants to join? We're gonna run in paradise. I'm getting chocolate chip pancakes after the ultra. Who wants to come along for that? Self-improvement, bonding, community building.
Are you doing one like every month? Like literally every month?
I mean, that's the plan.
You've gone through every month, so like.
That's the plan.
I was gonna say that's what
I mean, if anybody wants to pay for me to go to the Ultra World Championships in France this September, hit me up.
There we go.
I'm just saying, let's make it work. I mean, and then we can meet up, and then in October there's a Tennessee one. It's the 6th, so that's the one that we did last year with the big group. So that one's gonna be really fun. And then November. Trying to think if there's one in November that I was looking at. The World Championships in Greece.
Oh.
So once again, if anybody wants to sponsor me, I am not below taking some sponsorship money, or if you want to sponsor the pod. And then December, it would be in a perfect world. There's the United Arab Emirates. It's in Abu Dhabi. So it's the...
See, that 5 times fast.
Nah, I'm not going to. So, yeah, so like this year, and on top of that, I'm also working towards creating a career, kind of following your career path, becoming an advisor within the app. And now that might throw a wrench, not even a wrench, that might bring a blessing into my life to where I can't do all these races, right? Acceptable. I'm building my career as well. I'm trying to be the best athlete and best community builder because I use these races to connect with people. I am no longer going to become first. Like not only does that take years of practice, patience, skill development to be an A player within the Spartan race game, like that's not what I want to use it for. My most favorite memory of Spartan races is in 2017. I was just chilling. It was actually my second race of the day. I was just like, all right, we're just gonna run this one, right? And there was this girl. She was probably like 15 because you have to be 14 to run on the course. And she couldn't get over it. We call it a spider web. It's where you basically climb vertically. It's like squares.
Over the loop. Okay.
Like all right. So like rope, you climb vertically. You have to get over it, come back down. Right. Like it's like a square net.
Yeah. It's a little like the obstacle course.
Yeah. Exactly. So they call it the spider web. However you want to say it. But she couldn't get her leg over. She was stuck at the top. She just couldn't do it. Like she was freaked out. Which I mean, it's like 10 feet off the ground. Like it's if you're afraid of heights, like I get it. So I was just like, all right, let's do this. I helped her, coached her over, made sure she was all right, held onto her hand, like just everything, right? And her mom was so thankful when we got to the other side because her mom already made it over. And like, she didn't know what to do. This girl was in tears. And I was just like, instantly, I'm like, oh, I like this. So whenever I get the opportunity to help somebody on the Spartan course, I was just like, screw my time. I don't care. Like in Nashville, I walked the entire thing. Not quite the entire thing, but my friend Carissa, like, we walked it because she's a crazy woman too. Like, she has CF, cystic fibrosis. I think I hit that one right. But, so she has 30%. I know, right?
It's an easy teamwork.
Dude, I can't spell it. So, so we walked together. She has about 30% lung capacity in her lungs. Like, it's insane.
What happened? Is it just the cystic fibrosis?
Yes, exactly. So she has a machine that she uses every day, but she is a badass. She's doing the lunge challenge for March or February. We're in February, Jesus. But it's really cool. So we walked the majority of it, but she was able to do all the strength work. She was able to hit that rope climb, ring that bell, all these other things that she was able to do, and we got through it. And I'm like, this is what Spartan's about. We still made it to the end. We still crossed with the group. We still smiled, hugged, took all the pictures. I'm like, this is the community.
Yeah.
And the reason I love Spartan so much is because First Phorm, Spartan, whatever community you're a part of, Spartan's main thing, what it was founded on, Joe DeSena. Get 100 million people from the couch out doing hard things. And I vibe with that. I'm just like, let's do it. Now, coach, you're a coach. Even though you're going to CL, you're still a coach. You lead the way, right? I like to think I lead the way. I want to teach people how to do it right. So they're not just like going from their couch one day and going to the race the next day.
We're not David Goggins trying to lose 100 pounds in 3 months. Yeah.
Because, and even if it is a 3-month lead up to a 5K race, I want you to do it right. Right? I don't want you to go run 10 miles day one and then all of a sudden can't move the next day.
Yeah. And you want to progressively overload up to that point.
Exactly.
Like constantly adding a little bit more.
Yep. And to get you strong so that you can face the obstacles, overcome the obstacles, and keep on going. Like, so that's what 2024 is all about. Like, I want to build that community out because I think there's so much room, even though it's like popular, there's so much room for growth in it. And I love Spartan races because it's carrying stuff, it's hanging from stuff, it's climbing, it's squatting, it's jumping, it's being able to climb a rope. All human things that we used to be able to do that apparently, like today's world, especially Western world, forgot that humans are actually supposed to do this stuff. Oh, did I mention running? Yes, y'all, running, good thing to be able to run. Okay?
Depends who you ask.
Well, see.
No, I agree.
I know you agree. I know you're just busting my balls. But
yeah.
So like you say that, right? Depends who you ask, right? I think of that woman, I know Andy showed it on his pod, that woman in California who, it was like a great aunt or great grandmother, who fell down 5 times as a stroller is going away from her and the stroller is going into traffic. Just because you haven't ran in 50 years. Well, guess what, y'all? I see a 96-year-old running a Spartan race. Like, they're not setting land speed records, but they're still running it. They're giving their best effort. So, I just want people to see that they can do it and then meet up with me. That's why I like to do one every month, because we'll do it together. Not setting land speed records. We're just going to do it together. We're going to overcome. And we're going to show you and everybody who follows you that they can do it too.
I like that. And you are somebody, like, I know we talked at the start of the pod about 6 with being selfless, but you are somebody who selflessly likes to pour into people. And I know that because I've experienced that from you when I was in a really dark place and you didn't even know who I was. And you still said, hey, I'm going to pour into this guy for a minute here and try to take care of him. So I've seen that. I know that's who you are. So I think that's extremely admirable. I know you're going to be able to like really crush that because I know you've made like such an impact in my life. Like a profound, like I wouldn't be here in my position if it wasn't for you.
Stop it!
Stop
it!
But for real though, like I know these people that come and want to attack or like learn something. I had people in the open gym today asking me like, "Hey, is Sully here?"
Well, that makes my heart feel
Matt, who I'm sure is watching this, that came up to me and asked. I met him today, and I was like, "Oh, dude, that's so cool." So you had some people that were missing you. I know you're at work.
Next one. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry.
We have another question, right?
Yeah, there is 2 more.
Okay.
So, hey guys, can you talk about transitioning from the military and struggles you may have encountered?
Struggles from transitioning out of the military.
Stroked out on the transition.
Well, I transitioned in the middle of COVID.
Oh, how was that?
Wow.
Sent me to a dark place.
I believe that.
Big sad.
Was it in 2020?
It was July of 2020.
Yeah, that's big sad.
Big
that was
sad.
when I was literally getting started.
Man.
In active duty, at least.
Man, like, so I think what a lot of civilian people don't realize is how much structure you have around you when you're in the military. You have what you have to do every single day. if you need food, food is provided. Like, they give you your best friends in the world, and then they take them away. But you're used to that by the end. And then all of a sudden, one day you're in uniform, and the next day, all of that is gone.
You enjoyed your military career quite a bit.
I did. I mean, I'm sure I bitched and moaned at times, like us all.
With every career.
Welcome to the military.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it. I mean, I lived in Sicily for 2 years. I lived in Seattle for 5.5. If I didn't enjoy my time in the military, I was doing something wrong, right? And the mentors I gained and the friendships that I've gained, like, I say to this day, it's the best decision I ever made, and I wouldn't ever go back and change it. Like, I still tell my friends to this day. Some of them are 31 years old. Some of them are older. I'm like, you ever think about the military? Like, 100%. Like, that's just my experience with it, because I know everything it gave me, right? But what people don't realize is, like, it gave me so much, and then it's gone. All of that scaffolding, all of that, those people around you that you could go to. I could go to my boss's office and just like, hey, you've been in for 20 years. Help me. Like, mentor me. And they're willing to do it. That's all gone. And, like, yeah, you can still call them, but they're also at work. Like, they don't have, quote unquote, have the time anymore to pour into you like they used to. You can still stay in contact with them, but it's just different. So I didn't realize it was going to weigh on me that much, kind of losing the entire scaffolding of what I built my life on. I mean, I started when I was 19. So, and then I grew up in the military system to where it was just like, oh no. I wanted to go to school. Then Arizona State University, they're having the mask mandates. And I was like, I'm not going there. Like, they shut down basically Phoenix. And I was like, well, that sucks. That's where I wanted to live. So then I went home and, I mean, quickly found out there was a reason I left home. So it was really difficult for me to find people I connect with. And I ended up moving to South Carolina because my friend who was still in the military, he reached out and was like, hey, you just want to come live with me? And I was like, yep, need it.
Beautiful state, by the way.
It is a beautiful state. I see why my sister lives there. Because I needed that connection again. And it really pulled me out. And then moving to First Phorm, meeting some absolutely amazing people, pulled me out even further. So I would say I struggled to find a community that kind of shared my same values. And that's the biggest thing for transitioning military personnel, I'd say. Find a community that shares your values, your ethics, your morals, and lean into them, because they will give you connection and friends outside of the military that will help you transition. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to paint that, because what you're basically saying is, hey, if you enjoyed your time, even if you didn't like the actual military part, odds are you enjoyed certain parts of it.
Yeah.
The connection, the team, and being able to find the next thing that you're passionate about, and not realize, like, not just being like, hey, military's done, I'm done. And we both went to UHP. Like, I was like, when I was a strength and conditioning coach, like that was like the cool thing to be able to see people flip that switch of, hey, I was a veteran who really was kind of down and out, and realized I wasn't this broken dude who only had my time in service. Like, I have so much more to offer to the world. And that's the thing that I think you're hitting the nail on the head on.
Goosebumps.
Is that you clearly realize is like, hey, I have a lot more to give. And you went and you tried to find that, which is cool. But and clearly now you're like making it a thing. Like, you're doing the Spartan races to bring people in to show them, hey, we can do more. We can live a harder life, but that makes it better. So I think that's really cool.
Speaking of that, like, if anybody out there watching this who is a veteran and wants to create a veteran Spartan racing team to where we meet up somewhere, let me know, because I'm sure I can talk Derek into doing it.
I'll support. I got something else I'm chasing right now.
See, but the beautiful thing is I have a year pass, which allows me to bring one spectator. So Derek will be there.
There we go.
So he'll be there one way or another. But we can do it together. We can do hard stuff, and then we can create a community.
I can be the team mom.
Yes, you can. Maybe give us a little education.
I'll hand out, I'll be the one handing out like uniforms and stuff like that.
Oh, I was going to say 1P energy.
Oh, I can do that too. But,
okay.
Kind of going on for me, like, different side of things. So I was in, the National Guard before COVID, but when I commissioned was like when COVID was picking up. So I commissioned in May 2020, showed up to Fort Benning 2 weeks later.
Time that right.
Yeah, right. And you know, for me, I couldn't wait to get out of the military.
No.
I did not like my job. It wasn't that I didn't like being an infantry officer. I loved being a platoon leader. Mm-hmm. Loved being able to be with
the people.
Guys. Loved the people.
Yep.
You know, my direct boss, I had the same direct boss the whole time I was in the military.
Ah, that's great.
It was awesome. Yeah, Captain Martinez, super cool guy. It was weird because he was my platoon leader, or not my platoon leader. He was my company commander when I was a platoon leader, like a mechanized platoon leader. Mm-hmm. I did that for a year, and then I moved over to be the mortar platoon leader, and he became the HHC company commander. So he became my company commander again 2 weeks later. So I literally had the same boss. And it was awesome because he's a super cool guy. And was just, you know, a genuine dude who also a follower of Christ. So plug to Captain Martinez. But, you know, outside of that, like, for me, I just always viewed the people that were above me in the military, not like directly above me, but the people on like that battalion command level and above. Mm-hmm. I just, you know, maybe it was just that I didn't have the best experience with my battalion command team, but a lot of times it's just like, dude, you're just wanting OER points. Yeah. Which is like your rating scale for in the Army is like, as an officer, is like your OER.
I had an EPR, enlisted performance report. You had, officer performance.
Exactly. Yeah. And dude, for me, I felt like the job I joined to do, I wasn't doing. Yeah. And like half the time I was a unit movement officer. Mm-hmm. Which the thing that sucks is like, you know, you go your week-long class to learn how to be a UMO, and then you get no more further development on that. You have like, my fire. Exactly. They just tell you to go do stuff, and you have to figure it out.
Read this book, or read these regulations. Yeah. It's not a book, it's regulations.
So for me, I was like, dude, I'm stoked to get out. Mm-hmm. But I also had my battalion command team, or like really the battalion brigade was trying to keep me in the Army. So I had to like lickety-split rush getting all this stuff done. Like I didn't get to go do the VA, like my VA stuff until I started getting out. Because
the question is like the struggles with transition. Yeah, that was one of mine. Mm. Like, it sucks. Well, right now I am just getting my VA stuff done. I've almost been out for 4 years, and it's because I struggled with
allowing yourself to want to accept that you deserve that. Right.
I still struggle with saying that I deserve it. And I know I served my country, and I know I deployed, and I know I served my communities. It's just, for me, there's a mental switch, right? It's veterans. What is it? Veterans VA. What is it? Veterans Affairs, right? Yeah. But they call it disability. When I wish they would just rename it, because it's not a disability. When you get VA, when you get paid every month because of your disability rating that they give you, you're actually not disabled. Like, you don't get a little sticker. Like some people do, like when it's like 100% and like you have to go through other doctors to do that. But like if you're rated 70%, you're not going to get a VA sticker or like a disabled sticker. Like they call it disability, but realistically it's not. Right?
So for you, it's that verbiage.
It's oh man. Because I didn't want to feel like I didn't want to put that label on me that I was disabled, and I did get injuries in the military. I hear this little thing in my ear from firing my rifle. It's there. Yeah. It's worse in my right ear than my left, but it's still in my left. But like, that's what I struggled with, accepting that like, actually I do deserve this, and it's still hard for me if you can't tell, but like. What's something that you struggled with transitioning?
So I think for me, because when I first got out and I took like when I moved back here and I moved straight to Bentonville. Yes. Right. And for me, I was like, dude, because I had a lot of challenges while I was in the Army, not just like with trying to get out, but also just like personal life stuff. And I just thought like all those challenges were done. I thought that was God's moment for me to be like, here's your break.
Welcome to life, Derek.
Yeah, well, legitimately, I thought, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I prayed about it so much. And then all of a sudden, it felt like I just got, for lack of a better term, shit on. Like, monumental amounts of shit. Just, like, literally just... Like it was like
I feel sorry for laughing, but no, like the way that you describe it, I like instantly like because I used to work on a farm, like just
yeah, and dude, it was a combination, I think, of being around people that weren't matching my values, were not necessarily good people, and then also being around some people that may not be bad people, but have been hurt for so long that it caused them to act in a defensive manner. And it sucks when you're on the receiving end of that, because then I was just like, dude, what the actual fuck? Like, I'm sorry for swearing, but I was mad. I was like mad, and I was hurt, and that pain really boiled over into more anger. And that was a big struggle for me, and has been something that being here really helped with. And I think it's to your point of finding that community that really wants to support you. Because the thing that I found out that I was really missing while I was in the military and after that was not only just like, because I had great friends. I had great people that cared about me a lot, but really it didn't seem like everyone, it did feel like I was a number. And then, but when you find that place where you know that you're actually you're doing the right thing, and you know you're making a direct impact in the world that's positive, that's what I would encourage people to chase. And when you can find that, I think that makes the transition so much easier. Because once I started getting here and getting into the swing of things and being like, dude, I'm making such an impact, even just like putting products in a box, because I knew like if I have pride in how I put things in this box and someone opens it up and they see, dude, this is so beautifully packed, I'm more motivated now to get like started on my journey, which is a thing. It is a thing, because I remember as a customer that's how it felt. So now, just it seems like day by day, even though things like, it is work, it is hard work, but it's so fulfilling, and I love it so much.
I wanted to say this quote a long time ago, but it's Tony Robbins. Success without fulfillment isn't success at all.
Yeah.
You are going to drive yourself into the ground, and you will probably give it all up just to feel fulfilled in something. And that's why you being an advisor, you coming back here and working your way through the system, I think you feel so fulfilled with that journey.
Yes. Even
though it started out rocky, right?
Yeah.
But once you found your footing and made it back to HQ and started working towards a goal, I think that's also a major thing. Is you get out and you don't have a goal. You gotta even if it's something simple. I'm going back to school and I'm gonna get a 3.0. Set it, write it down. Have a goal, build a community, find a community, and just realize that you are worthy even though you took off the uniform.
Yeah. And,
right.
That was to that point about the Tony Robbins quote. I would, not to try to brag on myself, but I was a damn good infantry officer.
You were top rated, right?
Yes, I had MQs. I was,
all right, civilians here, you gotta explain MQs.
Yeah, I was top 10% of infantry lieutenants.
Thank you.
So, me and my friend Jackson, we were literally just.
Yeah, didn't you guys I don't want to say butting heads, but you guys challenged each other.
He was my best friend.
Yeah.
He and my friend Carlos were all three best friends. And oh hey, what's up, Mitch?
What's up, dude?
We're just filming our pod. You're good, man.
Okay, I'm gonna bring a light in.
No, you're good. Sorry. Are we good to be right? Are we good?
Yeah, I'm just bringing a light in. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right,
Anyway, but having those people that were really just pushing me, and dude, we were good. We were killers. I'm not trying to just say that to sound inflate our ego, but when we went to the national training center and stuff, dude, we would you don't win battles at NTC, and we would win battles, destroy battles. So it was cool, and we were yeah, we're kind of the shit. But when I was dude, I may be the shit, but I don't love this. This sucks. I want to feel like I'm being fulfilled, I'm making an impact in the world. And now, even though we were talking about before, it's there's a lot more work, but it's so much more fulfilling. Where I was previously so drained all the time, now I'm dude, I don't, even if I'm tired, I'm not drained.
Yep. Love it. Cool. One more. Hit me.
Derek and Sully, love the pod. I find myself struggling to hit my protein goal on a regular basis. Any tips?
Ooh.
Well,
good question.
I did comment earlier how I took up my lean beef intake. So I went from about 4 to 6 ounces of chicken to about 8 ounces, 7 to 8 ounces each meal of lean beef. I also added, from my 3 eggs in the morning, I added a cup of egg whites. So that gets me to around my 30 grams of protein for my breakfast, and then also my main meals of lunch and dinner. And then I also have a couple of meals in between there that are high in protein. So that's what I do. I took up my lean beef intake specifically so I could hit a higher protein goal, right? So it wasn't for the fats, obviously it wasn't for the carbs, but it was specifically for the higher protein goal. I went from 4 to 6 ounces of chicken to about 7 to 8 ounces of lean beef every meal. So that's where I started. What about you? What do you think?
I think usually what I see with people is two problems. It's either they don't know like high protein foods,
Yep.
or they're too full to eat high protein foods.
Ah.
And we have a couple options here. I would say like first off, if you're like really option one, you want to just hit more protein because you don't know what like are high protein foods. Things like my top 3 off the bat would probably be chicken, like lean chicken breast,
Yep.
Lean ground beef, and then Greek yogurt.
I love Greek yogurt.
Those are my favorite 3. If you can pick 3 just to start with, that's what I would go with off the bat.
You and your Greek yogurt. I'll find that picture one day.
Dude, so
Yep.
good.
All right.
But and then if you're someone who you're feeling too full, you can do really 2 things. You can either have more digestive enzymes in your diet, and like really the 2 ways I would do that. Really, okay, I guess 1 way, but 2 ways that you can get digestive enzymes. Tropical fruits like mangoes, papayas, pineapples, because those will help you break down that protein a little bit more. Or you can use something like OptiGreens 50, which is what I do, just to make sure I'm getting some more digestive enzymes, some more probiotics to break down and to utilize the nutrients I'm
Absorb, yeah.
But another thing, like when we're thinking about protein, dude, one of the things that's helped me out so much is something like I do my level 1 Ninja Creamies at night.
So I haven't gotten a Ninja Creamy yet, but like
You
you are starting to make me want one. I didn't want to get on the trend.
You need one.
I didn't want. All right,
Everyone needs one.
Okay, so
It should just be mandated.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna pay for it,
I'm not gonna pay for it.
What?
Someone's gonna pay.
I
They'll
did.
figure it out.
but all right, so you have a sweet tooth.
Real bad.
Okay, does that like I found that like Ninja Creamies? I've been looking at Instagram recipes. Does that help?
Yeah, dude. So like for me, my favorites are using either the cinnamon cookie batter level 1 in there. Because dude, there's nothing that it's not good in. Like coffee, Greek yogurt, the Ninja Creamy. But like also, I just don't think you can go wrong with the ice cream sandwich. It's so good.
The OG.
Yeah. Or like if you like the milk chocolate, do you have a chocolate guy?
I'm a red velvet guy till the day I die, but that's just me.
Yeah. But
All
dude,
right.
I got a ton of recipes, honestly. Maybe we'll do that as a little cooking show at one point or something, because that has helped me so much with not only getting more protein in, but also curbing my sweet tooth. Those are the 2 big things.
That's why I like red velvet. It curbs my sweet tooth like no other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, cool. That's awesome. So you have that right at night, like
right before I go to bed. And the thing I really like about that too is because I think a lot of people there's still that misconception out there, or there's a ton of just so much information about when you should be eating. So many people like still are wondering like, hey, can I eat past like 7 p.m.? And yeah, you definitely can. And I would highly encourage. That's why I use level 1 when I do in my Ninja Creamy, because I can have some extra protein before I go to bed. Make sure I'm still having like those amino acids like in my bloodstream. So really, what that would kind of break down to is like the ability to keep making sure I'm recovering well, even while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Because it's that sustained assimilation protein.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Protein is the building block to everything.
exactly,
Like legitimately. So you need it. So if you're sleeping, helping your body recover.
Yeah, man.
Boom, boom, boom.
2 birds, 1 stone. Because I'm improving my recovery from sleep, improving it from my protein. Man.
Curving your sweet tooth. I mean, the list can go on and on.
Oh yeah.
So like for me, like kind of how you have to measure it, right? So I started out 4 to 6. Well, I took it up to 7 to 8. But I'm doing that.
Wait, what do you mean?
Ounces.
Oh,
ounces.
I was
Of,
like,
so like, yeah. So like, I could.
Food-wise.
Food-wise, I could have stayed with chicken too. Like, I could have just increased the amount, which increases the protein, increases the caloric intake. So I'm still increasing that protein, right? I just chose to go to lean beef because lean beef, as discussed, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then I can also throw a steak in there if I want to, and it's not, and then my old gut gets used to it, and we're good.
There you go.
So yeah, and then like with supplementation at the end of the night, like that's perfect. Like nice little Ninja Creamy, make it taste nice and flavorful, and
It's so good.
look at all the benefits.
Yeah, and a lot of people like to have tons and tons of protein options, and you definitely can.
Yeah.
But you don't need necessarily a million of them to eat more protein.
No.
If you can have 3 or 4 that you have on rotation that you enjoy, hey, I'm all about it. And, even if you're a vegetarian, things like even if you want to go with like eggs or egg whites, once again the Greek yogurt. So many different options out there that you can still crush and really enjoy.
Hell yeah. I think we answered the question pretty good right there.
Yeah, that might honestly
got-
been a little
That's
overkill.
everything.
So if it's,
Yeah.
you know how I like to go way overboard. So if that was overkill for the people.
Well, that's quite all right. They're still
Plenty
watching
of
the
nuggets
switches.
people can pull
Yeah.
out of that.
100%. And that was it for the questions, right?
Yes, sir.
100%. So we hit them all.
Everything.
I like it.
That's perfect. So you want to end this beautiful day in prayer?
Yeah, sure. Well, I got a short one for us. Lord, I'd like to say thank you for letting us to come together today and film this podcast. Try to bring as many people into our community and help as many people as possible. I'd like to pray for the people that are watching this, that you draw them closer to you, sending your Holy Spirit to guide them towards you every single day. I would like to pray that you continue to allow us to develop each other. As your word says in the book of Proverbs, iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens the face of his neighbor. Lord, allow us to keep pushing each other to develop, to grow, and help as many people as we possibly can in fulfillment of your plan. Amen.
Amen. Woo! Let's go.
All
boys.
right.
You
I heard